Hey, collective, good morning. What is going on? Hope you're doing well. I apologize, I'm running a few minutes late. Welcome into the channel, though. We are here for our midweek check in. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we will look at the energy for the rest of the week, assess where we've come from so far via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Okay, good. We have sound, always a good thing. That means we're on the right foot. We have the day is starting off on the right foot. We're on the right path. It's been a really interesting energy. I feel like this week, it is our final full week of Aries season. But we're definitely seeing the momentum pick up of fire energy. I feel like a lot of the beginning of the month was really sorting ourselves out, sorting out our feelings, our emotions, our thoughts, our beliefs, where we want to put time, energy into our life, and then actually situating ourselves so we can commit to that thing. Um, we're about to head into Taurus season on the 20th. We have a new moon beforehand in Aries on the 17th, tomorrow, actually. I'm planning to go live tonight, just as a side note, while I'm thinking about it. I'm planning on going live tonight, so you can really, experience the full moon energy when it arises tomorrow. I'm thinking it might be, well, whatever. Those are my own thoughts. I think it might be better. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to do the full moon, new moon readings like beforehand instead of actually like when it's happening, because sometimes people like a heads up around the energy. But as I was thinking of that, I'm planning on going live tonight. I will post something as well on the community board, so stay tuned. But we have this new moon in Aries. New moon in Aries, I love the energy because it really helps us connect to self. It helps us, like I said, really figure out what's working for us and what is not, and then where we actually want to commit, where we want to see growth and evolution happen. It hasn't been so volatile in our relationships and dynamics. Like, we're definitely hitting some waves. There are obstacles popping up, but I feel like there's this overall strengthening of your energy. There's this ability to confront things head on with courage, with strength, with integrity. Integrity meaning that you are choosing things that are right for you, not for someone else, not bending to their will or trying to accommodate, but actually checking in. And sometimes we do that, we don't even realize we're doing it, right? But I'm talking about like actually taking this step back and checking in, and is like this really what I want? Is this really the direction that I want my life, you know, the energy to go in, etc. Some of those questions are harder to ask, but I think we're getting a lot more clear on where we stand in those things in our life. And so this new moon, there might be some tension. We'll go over it a little bit today. We were seeing it pop up in our weekly reading. Definitely check it out if you're interested. But tension more around those things of like, are you going to actually stand up for yourself? Are you going to actually commit to yourself, to the things that you want, that you believe in, that you know are right for you? And sometimes in the face of things that we really want, relationships, people, connections, whatever, even goals we have for ourselves, right? Like a lifestyle or a job or whatever, right? That can manifest in a lot of different ways. And it can be really difficult to let go of the thing we think we want, in hopes for something better. But if it's not resonating, if it's not aligning, if there's a lot of messiness or toxicity or unhealthy patterns, etc., then we really have to look at it because it's not necessarily going to get better. And usually, when we're caught up in those unhealthy dynamics, that really is the motivation for whomever is, kind of spewing the toxicity to keep you engaged, to keep you roped into the drama. And unfortunately, not unfortunately, because it's not, I don't know. I don't find those things fun. It's not fun to be in those dynamics. And they don't really get us anywhere, right? That's what I was going to say. All right, but let's get started. I'm going to start off with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked, limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a good way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your personal situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of that realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are aligned in self, that's really where we're able to tap into our happiness, our fulfillment, our abundance, success, which you totally deserve. And I would love to help support that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. And hopefully, my website will be up and running soon. All right, let's get into this. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels, love. All right. So I do feel like your energy is pretty confident, like I was saying, but I also am picking up this like hesitancy, or maybe internally you're questioning yourself, like if you are actually ready, if you are actually prepared. You've been doing a lot of work, a lot of investment in self. Excuse me, I'm going to take a sip. Oh, it's so hot, but I like so want my coffee this morning. Just do the reading and then it will be perfect, right? Um, so yes, like you've invested a lot in yourself, or you continue to invest in a lot and in your plan forward in self, and how you're not only presenting yourself, like you are reworking, you're refining, but you're also, like I said, getting really clear on what those goals are that you have in mind. And as we're hitting the new moon, there might be that hesitancy that I was talking about. Places that things have infiltrated in a way that make it hard to trust yourself. We have funeral, the plague doctor, and the cat, which the cat can be, in this deck specifically, it's just someone who's, it kind of has black cat energy, someone who's not very honest and forthright, hiding intentions, hiding motivations. And that's where that plague doctor comes into play, because it's something that's already infested the situation. And whether I don't think this is about you specifically. I feel like this is more outside situations, forces that you have to deal with in order to claim your power, so to speak, right? Like you kind of have to combat some of those people, some of those situations that are naysayers or who have said a lot of things about you in the past. And finding your own courage in the midst of that can be a really tricky thing to do. You might be having some memories around this lately, especially as we're moving towards the new moon, because even though there is a strengthening of self, there's also disappointment into how certain things are playing out. And specifically, like the stuff that we want to change, the stuff that we're like, if I do A, B, and C, it's going to get me to my goal, right? And it's not looking that way for us so much. There's been a lot of tension towards Jupiter, and Jupiter it was in retrograde for a hot minute. It's since gone direct for a month or so. It hasn't been in retrograde for a while, but there's been a lot of tense aspects. It's in Cancer to Jupiter. It's in Cancer. It brings out a lazy energy, as if what we're desiring is for things to come about in the easiest way possible, which, yes, I mean, don't we all, don't we all want to not have to work so hard? The value is in the lesson, is what I'm hearing. It's also the fuel that's getting things to come to a close, that's getting things to come to a head. I talked a lot about this week, and we're seeing it today. The tension to the vertex point. Vertex point is fated things that are fated to happen. And I feel like this is specifically around the closures that are happening present day. With Uranus in Taurus, it's forcing the dynamics to change, yes, but there is a little bit of this rebellion undertone where if things are not working out, then different options have to be assessed, and options that maybe something is not going to like. So messages, communication coming in for the rest of the week. It might not be good communications. And for some of you, I'm picking up that this might even be something that kind of feels a little bit triggering, a little challenging, especially to that empowerment that you've built so far, because you're choosing to not let it, once whatever happens, and we'll kind of see what the tarot says. But like, it feels like then you kind of go back to the drawing board of things that you do have to let go of. The scissors, this is all about pruning. It's about refining. It's about cutting out the things that really are not good for you. And whoever this woman is to you, we will see whatever message she's bringing. It might even have like some glitz and some glitteriness around it. Words that might be, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. That's the energy I'm picking up. Like, where someone says something that might sound nice, but it's not really. It's a backhanded compliment. That's what I was looking for. A little below the belt energy. Or maybe whatever the initial communication is, it's like nice words to get their foot in the door. Okay, and the blocked energy is the crystal ball. Interesting. Like, so someone trying to delay, like I was saying, the situations that are actually like coming to a head, coming to a climax. I feel like someone, like, I'm picking up this energy of someone who's like really watching you, or like trying to figure out the best time to come in for this communication. But they are watching you for when the right time is. And there might even just be some things that, like, they're making plans, but for some reason, they want you to become subservient to them, with the Three of Pentacles, the pressure card. This is like what I'm getting, sorry, is someone's trying to get you at a weak point. when you're not like, they want to come in, they want to present this nice front, blah, blah, blah. Whether you believe it or not, I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to pull out the tarot right now, but like, they don't want you to be as strong and confident as maybe like what you're coming across right now. Like, especially if you're in no communication with this energy, it definitely feels like someone who's watching for the right time and maybe expecting you to be like worse off than what you are, but you're kind of like getting better, getting better. And so I feel like this is directly connected to that vertex point energy, which we're seeing resistance all across the board. Listen to how interesting this is. We have resistance with Mercury, Mars, Neptune, and Pluto. But the harmonious aspects are with the North Node and Chiron, which those two energies are about like healing, being better, following our life path, you know, like growing and evolving to be better versions of ourselves while we're healing old karma. Those are basically what Chiron and the North Node are all about. And I feel like someone doesn't want you to be in that energy. They're hoping that they can kind of get you in a place, in a time where you're not feeling as strong and as confident, because I feel like that has worked for them in the past to either put you down or criticize or judge, or maybe you've given them a lot of power in the past. And so they're used to having that. There is a little, again, even hesitancy on their end, like I was talking about, right? In the very beginning. Energy is fluid. We're all experiencing it. We're just, you know, acting it out in different ways. We can all feel hesitant, but someone might be hesitant to talk to you, and you might be hesitant about, you know, self, about how much you've actually done on yourself, if you're worthy. And that's the thing. I feel like this is an energy. We're getting 10 of Pentacles. So this could be family. This could just be someone who's like family, people you see every day, interact with every day. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, 10 of Wands. Yeah, so you're coming up with some stress, maybe even just stress around the situation, or even if you are having to deal with this person, there might be a lot of communication that, again, it feels like it's a little backhanded, right? That it comes with some nice things, but also some, well, there we go. Some not so nice things. There's our guy. And he is in their blocked energy. So it just goes to show that whatever this energy is to you, however it is managing, handling the situation, it is really low vibey. It's something that feels just really like underhanded, manipulative, controlling. Like I said, they want you to be in a position, or that's how it keeps coming through. Like, if collective's a little bit down and out, then I will be able to succeed in whatever this is. And we'll see who this is too. Okay. So we have King of Wands, Seven of Swords popping out. This guy has been coming up for us a lot too. King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Seven of Swords is about being sneaky. Again, not fully divulging intentions. Where that black cat was coming up for us in the past. And I feel like that's why someone doesn't really know how they're going to, what approach they're going to take. This might even be like a bullying energy to you, right? Like someone who kind of like tries to bully to get their way, or, you know, put you down, make you feel less than, bad about yourself, even though it's, you know, it's still someone who's just not communicating very well. The teapot is all about that kind of like hot that hot language, that intense language that, again, it might seem nice, but it really is below the belt. It's really meant to harm and to hurt. And I feel it looks like this has been a stressful situation for you. It's taken a lot of strength and endurance to stand your ground. But what I love about this Ten of Wands in this deck, it's one of the only cards that have these yellow and orange flowers. And I'm reminded of like your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, where, and that's all about our empowerment. It's about what we're bringing into this world, what we're birthing, what we're creating. It has a lot of creative component, but it does mean that you have to really dig deep. And you have had to dig deep. And I feel like whomever is watching you does know that. We have the Hermit right here. Okay. They do know. And I think there is some evaluation, but again, I also see that someone like ego is big right now. Aries season always brings up big egos. We all want to be right, you know, and that can be a little bit hard. I mean, it's hard to find balance when we all want to validate, all have a valid point, but there needs to be some flexibility in that humility component, or else no one's going to win, right? Like everybody can't be on top. And it's not even about that. That's the thing. It's not even about that. I mean, you're definitely in this mode where it's like you've made changes for yourself based on what is happening. It's like you are pulling your energy back from a situation where you know you can't be successful, and you're actually funneling that energy into yourself, like I was saying very beginning of the reading, and it's showing. It's showing. And I think that that's where this energy, whomever this is to you, is struggling to find the quote unquote perfect opportunity to come and talk things through. I don't really see you being very open to it, because with all this Wands energy, it definitely feels like you are protecting yourself. I think that's also being seen though from around you, that you do have your guard up. But inevitably, things are going to come to head, like we're seeing with this vertex point. And that is part of that new moon energy, right? New moon gives us kind of that opportunity to start fresh. Maybe not completely, but you know, it's about really just releasing. The waning part of the moon phase, moon cycle, is all about releasing what's not working, healing, restoring, resting, rebalancing your energy, so that when the new moon comes up, we can get ready to get started again and be like, okay, I got this, right? And it can be adjustments to things you do want, or things that really didn't work out from the previous new moon, or however you do your manifesting. Um, but it does have this energy of renewed confidence that goes with it. And why I'm highlighting this is because we're seeing it with this energy that you're dealing with, where there's not as much tension. The vertex point, there's not as much tension during the new moon, only with the sun and moon, ironically, which are like are closer depictions, symbolisms of self. It's how we express ourselves and then how we feel about ourselves. And those are the things that are being challenged. Because I think that what I'm seeing is like, again, going back to that point of everyone wanting to be right. There's things that everyone did right, and there's things that people did wrong. Like there's both sides of the coin, and that's usually how things are, right? It's never an all one way or the other. And in psychology, that's actually called splitting, and it's like not the best thing because like people are a gradient, right? Like we might not like how someone acts. Actually, I like how Ayurveda talks about it. If we want to talk about like the light, you know, being at 100%. And if we talk about it in a spiritual sense, God, universe, however you understand, but like we reflect the light of God, whatever that means to you, or the light of unity, the light of wholeness. And certain people only allow that light to shine so much within them. Those are usually the lower percentages, can be these devil energies or people that are just used to operating out of low vibey behaviors, right? All they know how to do is lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, etc. It's more about their own agenda versus the whole. And that's where, and here's the thing, if whomever, whatever this is to you, was actually, I don't know that they can actually be 100% honest, because that would take an act of humility, and it doesn't look like this, that humility is present, because even the messages, the communications that are coming in aren't very nice. Look at all those black flowers. There's like a stain, coffee stain, I would say. That's only because I love my coffee, but it just has this energy to it where it's like, yeah, I'll communicate with you, but I'm not going to be very nice about it. Or I'm going to make sure that you know your place, that I'm better than you. Or the way I'm going to communicate is in a way where, like, I didn't do anything wrong and you have to take the responsibility for it. But they're going to work it out. They're going to find a way, is what it's showing. They're going to find a way, because they're able to find that power, that strength within themselves to actually connect with you. This is something that's going to happen. I think it, I think they know it, and I feel like yes, it is kind of like a right timing thing right now. But it's also, I feel like this is someone who, and I'll clarify this woman real quick. Oh, there's our King of Pentacles. It definitely has, family vibe. Like I said, or this could just be like people you work with, or if you're in a business partnership relationship, it could be community, friends. Take it how it resonates. Everyone's situation is going to be different. But people, there's like something that they either want or need from you, and so it's pushing them in a direction where I feel like they're going to have to reconnect with you, and they know that, whether this is a group of people or just a person, it feels like an energy who knows that they're going to have to make steps towards you, and it looks like they're proactively doing that over this new moon, the rest of the week. I feel like you're not very focused on this energy. I feel like you're doing your own thing. I feel like whatever this energy has brought into your life has been more stress and burden than, like, maybe even what you wanted to deal with. And it looks like they are watching you to some capacity to figure out what is the right formula to actually get what they want out of you, right? And it doesn't even have to be like, it's just, it feels like either you have something that they want, or they need you for something. There could be some readjustments. I'll clarify the scissors as well. There could be some readjustments, because I feel like actually the conversation is going to highlight some new things that maybe you haven't seen thus far. Let's see what the Hangman is asking you to move a little bit slower, to not be so decided in your opinion, or don't make decisions out of your stress, out of your burden right now. Because it might be a little bit more self-motivated. Not that that's bad, but like, you don't want to put yourself in a losing position. And it does look like something's being offered, even though I don't really love the way this energy is approaching you. It does feel like something's being offered that, like, might have potential to grow. And that's where these pruning shears can be as simple as, we actually, like, pruning is a very essential thing when it comes to gardening, so that new life can grow and thrive. Essentially, if you don't prune, then actually, like, the plant does not thrive. So if we think about it from that component, that's where this Hangman is saying, like, allow for a little more space of healing and of growth. You don't have to, like, love the way this energy is approaching you either, but you can still say your truth because certain things are going to have to be reworked. That in order for anything to do any sort of healing, growing, evolving, the old patterns, dynamics, they don't work any longer, you know? And I feel like, again, that kind of goes back to where this energy is really banking on that and hoping for that because that was the easier route to get to you, but it's not anymore. Um, and so I don't know. So it's basically like it's going to be a dance, right? It's going to be a delicate dance for everybody involved because there's going to be good things, credits, and there's going to be deficits. There's going to be things you don't like and things you like and things you don't like. Sorry. On everyone's end. I'm not just, and that's unfortunate. That is an unfortunate nature because that value, why splitting is so effective is because it feels really good. It feels like this amount of justice. Well, they're all bad and they're horrible. And yes, and it's hard. On top of that, it's very challenging for our mind to hold two conflicting ideas together. But that's why we've been blessed with consciousness. That's why we can grow and strengthen our consciousness, be better versions of ourselves, push towards enlightenment. Enlightenment, in my mind, is unity consciousness. It's the ability to understand that we are not separate from anyone, anything, that we're all a part of the network, whether we like the people, the situations we're dealing with or not. And unfortunately or not, like that's what dharma is all about, right? It's not even just Ayurveda, it's any religion, any spirituality that you ascribe to. It is about our moral compass. It is about whether we're going to choose to use that consciousness for our own benefit, for the benefit for the people around us, or we're actually going to, choose to stay small and stay limited. Anger, fear, stress, that all restricts the life flow. It is when we choose love, and I'm not trying to be a Nancy, but just love of self. Even if we can't give loving words to people who have hurt us, we can be thankful for the lesson. We can wish them well and say, please stay away from my energy. Hopefully. That's my wishes, but they never happen. I have to deal with all the crazies. Whoop whoop. All right. So spirit is asking you to find some type of balance, between opposing forces. And I'm seeing specifically with this Psyche card right here, as they're holding hands, as and in this card, the blue flowers, it's our throat, it's our communication chakra. The heart is for love, connecting in these relationships from that space of love. Again, love is what helps things flow. And it's even been acknowledged, like our physiology actually works better as well. So it's not just some like love, whatever, some like spiritual Nancy thing. It's like a legit thing. If you've ever seen those experiments where they put plants next to music and like all the like angry, aggressive, whatever, the plants actually grow away from it. But like the loving, the classical, the Gandharva, the things that are actually unifying for our physiology, the plants will grow towards it. And I think that's just such a beautiful expression of what can happen when we choose love. Love is it's not an easy thing to choose at all times. And again, I'm not sitting here preaching. What I'm saying is what it's showing, what the cards are showing is that if you can give someone a little more love, a little more space, even though it might not look very pretty off the cuff, it might actually turn into something that can be something really powerful in the future. And it's hard to see right now because there's a lot of like just not really very good energy happening. They're doing X, Y, and Z. It's stressing you out. It's making it's putting you in a box where you feel like I have to make a choice, either this way or that. And yeah, sometimes when we see things on one side of the coin, it can feel really limiting and restricting. But then if we like move through life a little bit more, hindsight, we're like, oh, yes, maybe. Okay, ego. So the cards never lie. Ego can be at play, letting the ego take a move to the back burner, not letting it be the front and center to the decision making. Or like my one thing would just be, don't make any decisions out of the stress, out of the burden, because it's not going to be a decision that you want. And it looks like there's still some pain, there's still some grief in this dynamic that's playing out, probably on both ends, or whatever. And maybe a conversation would help enlighten everybody on where that suffering is coming into play and how it can heal. I am a proponent of healing, again, even if it isn't the easiest. Oh yeah, joy. There we go. It's just going to bring in a little bit more happiness. And that's what it's about. We don't have to sit in pain and suffering. And sometimes that can be a hard thing to remember. We don't have to sit in pain and suffering. Actually, well, I'm not going to go down that road, but we can choose joy, and again, it's not always the easiest thing to choose, especially when we're in the midst of feeling like people, situations are doing us wrong or not playing fairly, not playing nice. I think we talked about this recently in a previous reading where it's like, you don't have to like make long-term plans with something you don't like, but maybe it serves a purpose for the time being. Maybe it serves a purpose for something that you are trying to strengthen and build and can lead to something very beautiful. Don't limit yourself, don't restrict yourself. It can be easy to like cut things off or, whatever, if we don't have the full story, if we don't really understand all the inner workings. And again, not in a way to keep you in a harmful situation, harmful dynamic. Always put your safety first, always protect yourself. If there's any trauma, abuse, really just make a point to reach out for help, support. There's so many different groups that really can, that do, that help. So I don't want to sit here and talk about like being a doormat. That's not what this is about. Not everyone's situation is going to be that either. But it does just look like there are some things that could potentially come out of this that you might not see on this side of things that could be really good, And I think that when we give situations, people a little bit more room, space, flexibility to show, hey, this is how I'm going to show up. I'm sad about how this went, but now I really want to effort and try to put a good foot forward, giving them the space to prove themselves. There's something really beautiful about that too. So I hope this reading helps. Godspeed to the rest of the weekend. Like I mentioned, I will be live tonight. That's the intention. To be determined, but I'm fairly certain. I'm like 98% certain. I hope you have a fabulous day. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated here for you. Definitely drop comments below. I love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC, because I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Just know that it blesses my heart so much. And I am sending love and blessings back to you. Have a fabulous Thursday.